And the final type of plate boundary that we're going to discuss is called a transform plate boundary. This is what this video will focus on, as well as some examples of some famous transform faults on our planet. Our final type of plate boundary is a transform plate boundary. Before, we talked about new lithosphere being created at divergent boundaries where they spread apart, and it being destroyed in subduction zones when they collide together at a convergent boundary. But a transform boundary, the plates are neither moving towards nor away from each other. They're simply sliding side by side. So think about rubbing your hands together. It's simply sliding past each other. So at these transform plate boundaries, what we find are called transform faults. These are going to be very small faults that are breaking up larger fracture zones. And it just more easily allows spreading centers to break apart and continue spreading if they're broken into smaller pieces along these fracture zones along transform plate boundaries. So almost every single transform plate boundary on our planet are found in our oceans around those spreading centers. But there are two pretty prominent ones that are found in our continents. And the most famous of all is the San Andreas Fault in California. This is probably the world's most famous transform fault because as the two plates slide side by side, it can cause massive earthquakes to develop around California.